I don't see them going for no confidence, and I don't see them pushing him out because people who voted for Boris, a lot of them are fans of Boris Johnson, and they are fucked if he goes with 2 years, 8 months off an election. They will be if he was to go, the public will demand another election. All hell will break loose. There's nobody to cover this. If you put, say, who were the front runner previously was Dominic Raab, who's obviously sort of gone, really, effectively. So a few people have mentioned Little Sunak, but he isn't going to be the Prime Minister.
I think the Tory party are too racist to progress somebody like Sunak,
me too. Priti Patel, exactly the same.
Or Sharma. Or Cleverly.
Yeah. I think they're not gonna stand for that. So I don't see where they are without Boris. I think they're gone. So they're going to put up with whatever the fuck he does because they've got no choice.
I think you're right. I think there is a lot of Tory success and Tory identity that is wrapped up in Boris Johnson's personality at the moment, and it's all rooted in the promise that he had, or promise that he showed when he was guesting on Have I Got News for You, and heckling Theresa May. I don't know if you remember when she was asked in an interview what the worst thing that she ever did was, and she said something about like running through cornfields that she wasn't supposed to be in, and then the next day wheatfields, yeah. Right, and the next day he like ran through some wheat fields, sort of like theatrically kind of mocking her, like trolling her is probably a better word for it. And so people like buy into this sort of, this japery and this court jester sort of character. But the problem is, and I think Ian Dunt mentioned this in one of his articles, he said at some point, and this is going back, a year or two now, he said at some point the laughter will just stop and people will be fed up of what he brings.
If that happens, I mean, I've tried to explain the maths of the last election to Tories a lot. And honestly, I don't know why they try to argue with it. It's such an odd thing. So Boris got 1.2% more of the share of the vote than May did in her go against Corbyn. 1.2%. Yeah. And so when you call it a Tory landslide, it's ridiculous. It's not at all. What happened was first past the post. And what helped them with first past the post was the Brexit Party, who didn't run against Tory candidates. So Boris needs another party like that. If they were to go to general election again, he has to have another party like that, or you're going to end up with a near-hung parliament, which is what May had. If he goes under this shit stick that's going on at the moment, and people kind of stop finding the court jester funny, the landslide the other way will be massive because people will be voting not for Labour, but against the Tories. Because suddenly it'll be the Emperor's new clothes. Suddenly a kid's gone, he's naked, right? And they'll go, fucking hell, they're all public schoolboy twats. And they will not be doing that. They won't vote for the Tories. So Starmer could win by default by not being Boris Johnson, which is amazing.
Which I don't even necessarily have a problem with. Like, I know everybody says, like, the cliche that people wheel out in the comments sections and against my tweets is that they say, well, Starmer has to create an identity and a public perception of Labour where it is not just, oh, we're sick of the Tories. He has to get people excited about Labour and rebrand Labour and make people really G'd up about voting Labour.
Biden didn't bother, did he? He won under I'm not Donald Trump.
Exactly. If you ask 90% of these motherfuckers why they voted Tory, then they'll say, like, well, couldn't bring myself to vote Labour. Like, it's just that they're not Labour.
I laughed at Boris Johnson once.
Yeah. So
I laughed at Thrush once. I don't mean I want it.
Right. Yeah. It's like, but it's this sort of this paradoxical position of like, I only voted Tory because I don't like Labour. So but then if you switch it round, why wouldn't you vote for Labour? Well, I can't bring myself to vote for Labour, so I'll just vote for Tory. Like you can't inhabit those same two positions.